Good morning, St. Luke's. Thank you for joining me for this morning devotional. My name is Brandon, and I'm a fellow St. Luker, and it's a privilege for me to be here with you today. When Pastor Jeremy asked me if I would do one of these morning devotionals, it occurred to me that this is February, and therefore this is Black History Month, and so I thought it would be appropriate if I use my privilege of being here with you today to try to elevate and celebrate a Black voice. So I wanted to share with you today a Black poet who has personal significance for me. So I was born and raised in Fort Myers in Southwest Florida, and during my youth, it had the distinction of still being one of the most racially segregated cities in America. And I admit that this had an impact on my upbringing and my development and growth into a young man, and ultimately my journey to the person who I am today. And in Fort Myers, the high school that predominantly served the Black community there was Dunbar High School, named for Paul Laurence Dunbar. And so he was one of my earliest introductions to Black voices in American history. And so I wanted to share with you a little bit about him today. If you're not familiar with Dunbar, he was a poet in the late 19th, early 20th century. He was born in Ohio, the son of former slaves, and he was one of the first widely popular Black poets in America. You would probably recognize one of the lines from his most famous poem, Sympathy, which is where we get, "I know why the caged bird sings." Obviously, that's the line borrowed by Maya Angelou for the title of her autobiography, but he's the one who originally put pen to paper with that line. But he did a number of short stories, or a number of poems, a few short stories, and even a couple of novels, all in his short 34 years before he passed away in 1906 from tuberculosis. And so what I want to share with you today is a work called A Prayer, which was written near the end of his life and kind of as a retrospective of his life. And I'm not going to put any spin on this. I'm going to let the author and the words speak for themselves. But I hope that these words speak to you on whatever journey that you're on right now. O Lord, the hard-won miles have worn my stumbling feet. O soothe me with thy smiles, and make my life complete. The thorns were thick and keen, where'er I trembling trod. The way was long between my wounded feet and God. Where healing waters flow, do thou my footsteps lead. My heart is aching so, thy gracious balm I need. Beautiful words. I hope you found some joy in that. I hope you find some refreshment from your soul in those words. And I hope you have a blessed day and a beautiful week. Thanks for joining me.